And honestly, one of the things I was going to say right off the bat was when we were back 4 years ago, when Team Heart came here, all of us that had been here for a while, we were like, okay, what are these girls going to do? They seem kind of crazy. And we've got this culture we want to protect. I've been really glad to see just the quality of people that the group has brought into the company, the quality of leadership that they have brought here, and the fact that they fight as much as we do to maintain the culture. That means a lot to me, because for Jill and I, culture mattered a lot. There's a lot of things you got to think about when you're doing a network marketing company, but I would never be in a bikinis and Lamborghini company. And so the culture really mattered. And so I was, like I said, I don't have anything but nice things to say about Team Heart. In fact, if it wasn't for LifeVantage, I wish Team Heart was in my group, but if it wasn't in LifeVantage, I would certainly be in Team Heart. No doubt about it. I wouldn't have any problem being a disciple in Team Heart. So yeah, my wife and we're distributor number 12. So that'll tell you where we were at. Our distributor numbers got a bunch of zeros and a 1 and 2. And so we got involved in the very beginning. We had some really cool things happen, but it turned out that our very first CEO, and we didn't know, by the way, that he was the CEO of this company, but he was a patient of ours. Him and his wife, my wife and his wife were very good friends. His whole family were patients. They moved to San Diego to become the CEO of a company called Metabolife. And then we kind of lost track. And then he pops up in LifeVantage, Tyler, and we knew Tyler and Marcel, and they're sitting around a table trying to figure out whether they should do this company or whatever. And they start calling people. And one of the people they decided to call was me. And David Brown, who he doesn't know that Tyler and Marcel know me and Jill. They were like, we want you to call this Dr. Campbell out in Parker. And they go, Skip Campbell? And he picks up his cell phone and he dials it personally. And they were like, what? How do you guys know each other? We started, anyway, it was just kind of a cool story that sort of made everybody that was involved, from the corporate people and the distributors, like feel kind of like this was meant to be. And so we decided to take the plunge. We saw that ABC primetime video. Tyler and Marcel told my wife, Jill, hey, we're going to come to your house. We're going to show you an ABC primetime video that we already went up and looked up, and invite as many people as you can. I think we had maybe 1 or 2 days notice, maybe 2 days. And Jill went bananas, and we ended up with probably 35 or 40 people in our house in 2 days notice, show that ABC primetime video, and had some people quit, and had some people start, and weirdly had some people not do it, which was crazy to me that they didn't see what we saw. But from that moment on, we weren't actually LifeVantage at the time. We were called Lifeline Therapeutics. We didn't have a compensation plan. We didn't have really anything. And so, but we went out and we started gathering. We had paper applications. We weren't legal yet. We had about 2 months before we could actually charge a credit card or do anything. And so we were out showing, I wish I had it, the old Pro Tandem bottle. Literally, I know my wife has it. I know she's listening. Maybe she'll run it to me. But this really hideously ugly bottle that was still sitting on the shelves at GNC. And we were running around with paper applications, trying to gather people to do this with just nothing more than excitement. It was kind of funny because the people would go, well, can we get a bottle? Can we try a bottle? And we go, yeah, you got to go to GNC to buy it. You can't get it from me. Fill out this application. It's $1,000. Give me your credit card. And it was just crazy insane. But it was all out massive action and excitement that got us through that first 60 days before we had a website. In the meantime, we're out doing all this. We fly into Salt Lake City because we had, I don't know, we probably had 200 people join our team, 100, maybe 85 people join our team in that first 60 days before we ever launched. And so they flew us as one of the leaders out to Salt Lake City. We met in the birthplace of LifeVantage, which, for those of you who don't know, is a Hilton Garden Inn right across the street from the office. I know, Erica, you've been to the office. That Hilton Garden Inn that's across from that Radisson, that's the birthplace of LifeVantage. That's where the name came up. That's where the compensation plan was designed. That's where kind of all that stuff was put in place. Dr. McCord was there. A bunch of the early corporate guys were there. And then a bunch of us leaders in the beginning were there. And the reason I tell the story is because I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I fell in love with it at that meeting. I fell in love not the product. I knew if it lowered oxidative stress, it was the most important product a human could take. I don't say supplement because it's not a supplement. I say product. With the time, we didn't know it was an activator. Honestly, they had no clue it activated the NRF2 pathway. All they know is the end product was a 40% reduction in oxidative stress. Well, I knew what that was. And so I was going to take that forever. I loved the product. I fell in love with the company and the culture of the company and network marketing at that first meeting when I kind of they lifted the curtain a little bit and they kind of showed us how a company works and what the goals of the company were. And we had this conversation, I remember, where we were designing the compensation plan. And we had a lot of compensation plans to choose from. You know, they had InfoTrack was there, and we had a lot of ideas were thrown out there. But I remember the overriding theme, and I'm not going to tell you that this is how it worked out, but I'll tell you that this is what the hope was. The overriding theme was, let's not be like every other network marketing company in the world. Let's try to be not like that. Meaning, we've got a product that actually has science. I had been introduced to and I'm not putting any companies down. I love network marketing products. But I had a little bit of trouble because I was like, how do I join this supplement company? What I have to do then is learn why these supplements are better than those supplements. Or why do I join this juice company? I have to go out and become a scientist on why this juice is better than that juice. And I didn't want to stand in front of people and go, you know, my juice is better because the berries are grown on the moon and they're hard to get when they're up there. And it's like having, you know, thousands of glasses of red wine and oranges and cherries. And I just didn't want to tell that story. But we didn't know. Like I said, we just knew that it lowered oxidative stress. It was kind of novel. Nobody could claim that. Still this day, nobody can claim it. So I knew I wanted to be involved, but I didn't know about all the rest of the stuff. So why else are we different? Because of our compensation plan. Now you guys are watching it. You guys are watching it manifest itself now. I will tell you the thought went into it, and we didn't want to be like those companies that had 6 or 8 guys making $1 million a month and everybody else chasing a carrot they were literally never going to catch. And we didn't want to be a pop and drop. And so we knew we weren't going to be a binary. And we went to unilevel. We went to a dynamically compressed unilevel because it was fairer. And then Tyler Daniels actually said, why don't we take some percentage points off that 9th level and feed it up, put it up in the middle of the comp plan so Pro 4, Pro 5, Pro 6 can actually make really good money. What happens when we're modeling and we take, and you have 9% on your 3rd level, which you only have to be a Pro 2 to get that level, and you only have 2% on your 9th level. Think about this for a second, you guys. My 9th level is massive, right? Humongous, because it's in dynamically compressed unilevel. It's every level past my 8th level because nobody blocks me right now, right? So my 9th level is humongous. And if that was, I made 9% on that 9th level, do you have any idea what my check would be? I mean, it'd be huge. But we actually put our money where our mouth was. We actually took percentage points out of the top and we stuck it right there in the middle so we could have Pro 4s making $1,100 and we could have Pro 5s making $2,000. And when they made the decision, the leadership and the corporate, that that's who they wanted to be, I was like, I'm all in. That's all I want to hear. I can live on, you know, what does the average Pro 10 make? $90,000 a month? I can live on that. Who can't, right? So let's feed the middle of the comp plan and see what we can do, what kind of culture we can build if we've got Pro 4s and 5s and 6s that love and cherish this company and protect it. And so getting to be there for my wife and I was just huge. Because it showed us, like I said, what the heart of the company was. I'll give you one other example, totally different subject, but Tyler and I got a phone call. Golly, this is probably as the company's about a year old maybe. And they were like, we need a car plan. We don't have a vehicle plan. And we want you guys to figure it out. And so I'm telling you, Tyler did a lot of work on this. I did a lot of work on this. We spent a lot of time on the phone together, calling around, trying to figure out what we didn't want was, and what we found out was happening in the majority of network marketing companies. Again, we want to be different. Is that you'll hit a certain rank in this company, it's Pro 7. And as soon as you hit Pro 7, man, we're going to let you lease a BMW or a Mercedes or whatever. We're going to give you a lease. And it was sounded foreign to me in the very beginning because I was like, don't network marketers know that anybody can get a lease? You can just literally go to Mercedes right now and they'll give you a lease. You don't have to sell supplements, right? And so they'll give you this lease, And it's your lease as long as you maintain your points. And if your points ever go down, it's still your lease, but now you get to pay for it. And so it becomes this burden, and it becomes this repossession program. And we honestly, we talked to other corporate people, and what we really did not want was that. And so we thought, let's come up with, first off, a program that they can get rank, hold, and then we'll just give them the pink slip. And they could burn it, they could use it as a paperweight, they could flip it upside down, they could do whatever they want because it's theirs and it doesn't matter. Let's do that first. And then we know that we're not helping people be irresponsible. If this doesn't become a burden. And then we chose the Jeep because, again, at the moment, we didn't want to be bikinis and Lamborghinis, but we wanted to represent you. And nothing said, we read some research, actually I found some research that said that the Jeep, the word that the Jeep says to the mind of the average American more than any other word is freedom. That's the word that comes to mind when people think about the Jeep. Why? Because you don't have to get on the same road that everybody else is on, maybe stuck on that same road. If you're on a road in your Jeep and you don't want to be on that road anymore, you just pop it into four-wheel and you go make your own road. And we were like, that is exactly what we want here. And then the other reason was because of soccer moms. We wanted this to be a thing that soccer moms really wanted. Soccer moms love Jeeps. And so we came up with the Jeep because of what it says to the person, what it means in America. That's why we came up with the Jeep. And then it's evolved into my LifeVantage program and all the other things. And I'm happy with all of that stuff because we don't take it back from you. You get it and you get to keep it. And so those two things I think really show where a lot of people talk. We put our money where our mouth is. We actually move percentage points around. We actually give people the pink slip. We write a check and give you the car. So we put our money where our mouth is when we talk about wanting to have that kind of culture, wanting to be different from other network marketing companies. And so that really inspired my wife and I in the beginning. We were coachable. We messed up a lot. In the very beginning, I was 58 minutes of product. I said all the words, superoxide, DSPTase, glutathione. I said them all. And we had to kind of switch gears and start adding a little business so that our business would grow. But we were coachable. My wife was organized and she kept us kind of on track and really actually motivated me a lot because she wrote on our bathroom mirror, we were going to hit Pro 10 in December of 2011. And I was like, man, I don't know. That seems like an awful lot. I mean, it's 28 months. We had to more than double our volume. And I kept saying, maybe we should just scoot it back. And she's like, nope, it's going to happen. Nope, it's going to happen. Stop talking like that. You need to shut up and stuff like that. And sure enough, we made it in December of 2011 on the last day of the month at like 11:35 at night. We qualified as Pro 10s, and it literally has been the greatest thing ever. I mean, being a Nebraska Pro 10 is awesome. I can't recommend it highly enough. And then making it in December too was great because we were always taught, that you work hard when everybody else works hard, and you work hard when nobody else works hard, and that's how you get ahead. I was constantly asking Tyler and Marcel, how do I get a bigger percentage of the company? Man, if the company's doing 10 million in volume, I want to be doing 10% of it. If it's doing 20 million a month, I want to be, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, it's easy. Work when nobody else does. Everybody else is going to take time off. Everybody else is going to say, well, I'm with my family and friends for the holidays. I can't do network marketing then. And my wife and I were just killing it. We did 46 meetings the first week of December between the two of us. By the way, I don't know if you heard me right, but the first week of December, we did 46 meetings between the two of us. And that's one of the other things I love about network marketing is just the personal growth. My wife was happy to organize me, to motivate me, and to sit in the very back of the room and let me do all the talking. And she would even get mad at me if I'd go, hey, everybody, take a look at my wife over there, say hi. And she would have to stand up and wave, and then I knew I was in trouble. And one day we, earlier than when we hit Pro 10, I double booked myself. I had a meeting in Kansas City and a meeting in Salt Lake City. And she goes, I don't know how you're going to do that. And I said, you should buy a ticket to Salt Lake City. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. And then she finds herself on a plane to Salt Lake City and hoping for it was going to snow, but it was July. So everybody showed up. And I called her up on the phone, by the way. This is the woman who wouldn't talk. Literally wouldn't talk. I called her up on the phone after the meeting. I was like, and honestly, I've never told her this, but I was probably just wanting to say, hey, listen, it's okay. It was your first meeting. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter because you just got to expose. It doesn't matter what they say. Just do your job, divorce the outcome. And I go, how many people showed up at the meeting? She goes, 5. And I go, that's awesome, man. What are they going to do? And she goes, oh, they already all 5 enrolled. And I went, what? 5 for 5 in your first meeting? Why am I even out working? I could just shut up now and let you do all the work. And so but the personal growth that was there was awesome. So it was just such a fun ride. Being in the beginning and being a part of it, it was so exciting. And to be honest with you, I'm just as excited about it now. But there was also rough times. I mean, remember, I don't know how this would go over now, and we'll talk about why this ain't going to happen now. But I got a call in the very beginning, like the company is this was actually right after we had our hotel meeting. So I don't think we officially filed for the name of LifeVantage yet. And we're out gathering applications. No, it was after that because we were paying checks. But the CEO himself calls me up and he goes, hey, Skip, this is a Thursday, by the way. He goes, hey, Skip, listen, we got to pay checks on Monday and we don't have any money. So we need to go raise some money. And so he asked me if I would come to John Elway's restaurant in Cherry Creek, Colorado, and do a present to a bunch of investors and see if we could raise some money. Then we flew out to Kansas City and did it again. And David, they were able to go out and raise about $7.5 million, and that's really what funded the rest of this company. But at the time, I was just like, this is just what you do. This is a new company. If you want a real stable company or you want to be, where everything is perfect, go join Amway because they've got it figured out. They've been doing it for 65 years. You kind of miss getting to be first. This is just what you do. And the reason I bring that up is because now I think a lot of people would go, wait a second, you guys were out of money? And use that as a reason not to join or to be hesitant or whatever. But this is just what you do. And now when people complain about things, I'm like, what? You don't like the word track in one of our FAQs? Really? And so back then we just did what we had to do. We just went to work, we busted our butt, and we did what we had to do. We did whatever it took. And my wife and I didn't look up for 28 months. We didn't take a vacation. Our only vacations were the Elite Academies. That was it. For 28 months, we just went until we did it. And then I had my second real lesson about leverage and about network marketing income. We hit Pro 10, February comes, and we're like, we're going to finally go, or just the two of us, went on a cruise, we unplugged, we went to Rotan. Didn't have the phones. It was great. Get to this island in Rotan. We've been cruising for 2 or 3 days, and they had Wi-Fi. And I was like, I'm just going to check. I'm just going to look. So I went and looked, and we got paid that day. And I looked at my check, and I was like, holy crap, my check went up a lot. And I was on a cruise. I'm going to spend the rest of my life on a cruise if that's what's going to happen. I'm going to cruise forever. It was just a great lesson because I was like, I literally didn't do any work for the last 8 days. And my check went up drastically. And then the other thing that happened was one of the things that my wife and I focused on, if I could teach you, I don't think I could teach you guys anything Rachel and Tara taught you, but one of the things we focused on was we always tracked when we made rank. And what I mean by that is if we hit rank on December 31st, every month, our first month, and all we wanted to do was whatever we had to do to hit rank on December 30th, on January 30th, and then on February 29th, and then on March 20th, you know what I'm saying? We always tried to move that date up just a little bit. Now, we always got stuck around auto ship because the auto ship is big. So we'd move it up to where we hit it on the 25th auto ship, and then we'd hit it on the 25th auto ship for 6 months. And then we'd move it up, and then we'd move it up. And the reason I bring that up is because, A, we never went backwards, not 1 month. We always stayed at the rank we were at every single time. We never went backwards. And today, we hit the rank of Master Pro 10 on the 13th of the month every month. So by the 13th, we're already qualified as Master Pro 10s. And to me, it gives you so much comfort knowing, that it's going to take, it's built to last. And so that's one of the things I really like about it. Going forward, man, listen, coming from where we were at, by the way, with, yes, just one product, a Nerf 2 product that was $40.99. And by the way, it was on the shelves at GNC. We had one
peer review. That was it. Our first CEO was a very personal guy, knew nothing about network marketing in the Wall Street. Our second CEO didn't know anything about network marketing, but was really good on the street. Now we have Darren, who does both. We've got now not one activator, but 3 activators. We've got, I hope all you guys are on NAD, but holy crap, man. Wow. NAD is such a powerful product to go with Nerf 2 and Nerf 1. And I'm going to tell you this. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, not by Rachel, but by the FDA. When it's all said and done, you guys can remember, unless you heard this earlier, on December 16th, 2019, I told you that when it's all said and done, in what those 3 products can do for your inflammation alone makes it the most important product in the world, period. All that other stuff is going to be gravy. I'm just telling you, research is going towards inflammation. The inflammation is at the root cause of so many issues. It's inflammation and the ability to lower inflammation in the human being is going to be such a big deal. I don't think I stepped on any toes. I think I'm allowed to talk about inflammation. So the product line is bar none the best. If you go back to what I wanted in the beginning when I said this, is that I wanted to have a company that wasn't like any other company. So our comp plan, we went and did that. We're not Lamborghinis and bikinis. We give away Jeeps. And to me, that's just all American. And if you live outside of America, it's all Australian. It's all wherever you guys are at. Jeeps are freaking awesome. Our product line is unlike any other product. We've got 26 peer reviews, and yet we're peerless. We still, to this day, don't have a peer. Now, I know some have come and gone trying to rip off. In fact, I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you the name of this company because they're still out there. But in the very beginning of a company that's still out there, they literally copy and pasted the research from our website onto their website. Literally without, and here's how we know. We send them a letter because they misspelled the same word that we misspelled. And that company's still out there, by the way. We don't have any peers. And so we're out here, you guys, when you do this discussion, man, to me, it is such an easy discussion. It's even easier now than it was. Because like I said before, we had 1 peer review. We didn't know if this comp plan was going to work. We weren't sure we were going to be here. We ran out of money. Okay? Now, you guys can go look up our financials. You can see that we are flush with cash. You can see how much volume we're doing. You can see the trajectory. For crying out loud, we just got a new Pro 10. All of these signs are pointing towards the momentum, the wave that is about to come. And you got to be damn near blind to not see it. You got to be almost blind to not see where we're going. And so if I could give you a piece of advice, is that we always did everything with urgency. We had our hair on fire. We ran as fast as we can. Not because necessarily we were worried about the company going into momentum, which it certainly will, but because urgency matters in your own lives. You see, there is somebody on your list, maybe your chicken list, somebody in your circle, somebody in your group of friends that is going to get prospected by somebody else in LifeVantage. And every time they make rank, you're going to feel sick about it. Urgency matters for that reason. You don't have any idea who those folks are. None. And so we just worked with a tremendous amount of urgency, really excited, and honestly in love with our product and our company and our culture. And it showed. And it paid dividends. It paid fruit. And now we're here, just got back from a great event down in Las Vegas, having literally the time of our lives. I couldn't recommend it more. If you guys don't get anything out of this, just be in love with this company and go out and let everybody know how you feel. And the rest will come. But you got to keep talking, man. You got to keep one foot in front of the other. You got to put your head down, forget about all the noise, and just go to work. And man, you'll be Pro 10s too. I know Rachel was the last one, but when it's all said and done, Rachel's going to be one of the OGs. There's going to be 50 or 60 or 80, and they're going to go, you were the 5th or the 8th or whatever it was. It's crazy. So I really appreciate the opportunity. I probably didn't take 20 full minutes, but I don't want to babble on. Like I said, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for you guys. I know what's ahead, but if you work hard, you're going to have a lot of fun. You got great leadership in that group, man. Just some of the best network marketing in that group. So you've got everything you don't now. If you don't make it work now, it's just your fault. You just screwed the big time because you've got everything you need. You got a great company, great product, great leadership. Love and appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great holiday, but don't
take the holiday off. You're going to be around people you care about. Go tell them about this awesome opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Skip. We appreciate you and the foundation that you have laid for this incredible company. So guys, take his words, run with them, have an incredible holiday, but don't slow down. Don't slow down. You know, take the day off. That's all I'm doing. I got a customer on Christmas Day last year because I don't stop. So go out and crush the rest of this month and set yourself up for an amazing 2020. Thanks again, Skip. We appreciate you. Love you guys. Have an amazing night. This call's officially a wrap.